Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Prof. Most people are still busy trying to make sense of some of the images that they saw, chairs being thrown and ANC supporters fighting each other and some ending up in hospital with blood-drained shirts.
Well, that in itself is not a very good image for the ANC because it deepens the legitimacy and image crisis, because many viewers will see a party that is unraveling, a party that can no longer impose discipline on its members. And some may even go to the extreme of saying that the struggle for the control of the ANC has become so desperate that people are prepared to use any other means, and it may even foretell what may happen in December if the leadership of the ANC from all sides, from all factions, do not rally around and try to contain this scourge.
So the violence perhaps might not have been predictable, but given what happened in the Free State, what happened in KwaZulu-Natal, was it entirely a surprise that we ended up in the courts this morning?
Not at all. It has become a pattern now that the losers will go to court, because once you have a legitimacy crisis, even if you have tried to do things according to the law, the losing side will always suspect that there is a foul play. And it is that legitimacy and the integrity that is very important to restore, so that people can trust the outcome and accept it, even if it is by 1%. As you have seen in other countries like Ghana, a losing incumbent by 1% simply accept the results and move on.
So Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosas took to the stage in more ways than one, and some people are saying that an Oscar Maboyane victory is a victory for CR17. Do you see it that way?
Without any doubt, most of the people in the new leadership are firmly behind Cyril Ramaphosa in terms of supporting him as a candidate going to the December conference. So to that extent, I do think that it is quite a boost for the second biggest province in the ANC membership terms to have come behind him, and it adds the infrastructure and the stage for him to campaign.
But is it fair to say that Phumulo Masualle is actually backing Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, or was this just an inference that people have been making?
I think his failure to pronounce quite openly that he was supporting Cyril Ramaphosa and trying to balance things and being cautious frustrated many of the people, more so because being a leader of the South African Communist Party, which has come out very clearly calling for the president to step down and also supporting or throwing its weight behind Cyril Ramaphosa, his rather mixed signals and less committal stance is what I think created a swell and a level of frustration among some of his supporters.
So Deputy President Ramaphosa spoke about those that have lost shouldn't get lost, and that this new leadership should make sure that those that have lost must be embraced. The right words, perhaps from a podium, but can they honestly do that, given the race to unify the party by December?
Well, I do think that the chemistry between the secretary and the chairperson in the Eastern Cape was already very bad leading to the conference itself. And now, so close to the December conference, it would be unrealistic to expect that they suddenly embrace each other, they trust each other. More so when there are signals that some of Masualle's supporters may still try to review the court decision. But at the same time, all political leaders who have emerged, you saw it in KZN and elsewhere, when they spoke unity, inclusivity, but the actions seem to be at variance with those promises, given the political realities on the ground. The tone ought to come from the leadership at the top, that is the top six, the NEC, but you see there nothing more than divisions, as you might have seen dramatically when you have the reported two legal opinions coming in from the same leadership that took resolution to have such legal opinions on the court judgment on KZN leadership.
Whoever wins the leadership of the African National Congress in December, has there been too much damage done to save the party, or is there still hope?
Whoever wins in December, the first thing we should disabuse our minds of the notion that it will be one person, a man or a woman. The damage is such that you need a leadership team with competencies to deal with the scourge of the perceived and the real corruption and patronage, with divisions and factionalism, and with clear policy focus on genuine transformation of our socio-economic landscape. And secondly, I do think that the damage is done, as you have seen the ANC progressively declining. The one saving hope, though, are two things. The first one being the fact that people who are not voting in large numbers happen to be the ones who are understood to be the ANC constituency. They have not transferred en masse to the opposition. They are staying put. So you could still win those people back and mobilize them, energize them to get involved in politics. The second one, the ANC weakness can only be precipitated if opposition from a stronger position was able to take advantage. But you have seen recently that the mistrust of the DA in terms of race and also the challenges of the coalition politics makes it clear that it's not a given that whoever wins will be the opposition. It will depend on the opposition getting its act together, and it will also depend on the ANC failing to correct its obvious mistakes.
All right, Professor Somadoda Fikeni, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much indeed for your insights. That was Professor Somadoda Fikeni speaking to us in the aftermath of the Eastern Cape's elective conference, which had its challenges and saw a few people go to hospital, some injured. But as we heard from Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosas, most of them were discharged. But we'll be watching that story as the courts have already started pronouncing on those events. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more news for you.